mubyeyi urifuza guteganyiriza umwana wawe ejo heza, gana mu mashuri ya apejerwa ariyo Lycée de Ruhango-IKIREZI hamwe na Emeru Intwari. Muri Lycée de Ruhango-IKIREZI tubafitiye amashami akurikira: Culinary Art cyangwa se ibijyanye n'ubutetsi, hari level 1, level 3, level 4 ndetse na level 5. Food and Beverage Services tubafitiye level 3, level 4 ndetse na level 5. Tubafitiye kandi accounting cyangwa se ibaruramari level 3, level 4 ndetse na level 5. Tubafitiye n'ubukanishi bw'amamodoka mu byiciro bikurikira: Auto Engine Technology level 3, Auto Transmission and Control System Technology level 4, Automobile Transmission and Control System Technology level 5. Tubafitiye n'ubwubatsi Masonry level ya 3, level ya 4 ndetse na level ya 5. Tubafitiye Tourism ubukerarugendo level ya 3, iya 4 ndetse n'iya 5. Turabibutsa ko tubafitiye n'icyiciro rusange Tonkome. Naho muri Emeru Intwari tubafitiye amashami y'umwaka umwe akurikira: Automotive Technology ubukanishi bw'amamodoka level ya mbere, Hairdressing ubwiza no gutunganya umusatsi level ya mbere, Tailoring ubudozi level ya mbere, Masonry ubwubatsi level ya mbere. Muri aya mashuri yombi tubafitiye abarimu b'inzobere harimo n'abaturuka hanze y'igihugu. Tubafitiye kandi n'amacumbi y'abakobwa ndetse n'ay'abahungu. Abanyeshuri bacu bakora ingendo shuri mu gihugu ndetse no hanze yacu. Tubaha umwanya wo kwimenyereza umwuga mu bigo bijyanye n'ibyo biga. Dukorera kandi graduation abanyeshuri basoje amasomo yabo. Aya mashuri aherereye mu mujyi wa Ruhango hafi ya gare. Ku bindi bisobanuro mwaduhamagara kuri 0788 cyangwa se 0722 mwanaduhamagara kandi kuri 0788 cyangwa se 0788 mwanadusura kuri website y'ishuri www.apejerwa.ac.rw. umurimo ukozwe neza utuma batugirira icyizere.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Jean d'Amour Hagengimana. I'm one of trainer in automotive transmission from Lycée de Ruhango-IKIREZI TVET school. I'm going to continue the teaching our session, which is the module is the live train maintenance. So, as you have seen, it is not the first one that you are going to learn this module, because I've told you about the types of the live, even if the component or other devices which will help us to make a vehicle moving. Yes. So a drive train, I've told you it is like a transmission of the vehicle. Means that in this module I've told you that we learn the transmission of the vehicle. Means that all devices which will help us transmit the engine torque. Means that there is the torque which has been generated by the engine, and those devices will help us to transmit the engine torque from flywheel, yes, where to the drive wheel. So as you have seen, I've told you that this drive train, it will be composed by those devices from the engine, and then I've told you that you have a clutch, and then you have a gearbox, and you have a propeller shaft. Then after you have a differential, as you have seen. So we have also the axles and the driver wheel. So here, as you have seen, I think that everybody is aware, reminding this schematic diagram. You have engine, you have a clutch. We have a gearbox. We have a propeller shaft. We have also final driver with differential. Final driver and the axles, yes, to the driver wheel. to the driver wheel. So as you have seen, I've told you that all those devices will help us to transmit the engine torque to the driver wheel. Means that it will help the vehicle moving. So the session for today, we are going to learn what he calls clutch. Clutch, a clutch system. A clutch system. This is a clutch system. It is also a device of drivetrain component, which will help us to transmit the engine torque through, input shaft to the gearbox. So the clutch system also, it has the function of connecting and disconnecting a rotating shaft. So this device, it has many functions. So I have to tell you that at the end of this session, every learner will be able to understand the definition of clutch, the function of clutch, the component of clutch, and how he can remove the clutch component on the vehicle, so as the clutch mechanism, means that mechanical clutch control and the hydraulic clutch control. So in this time, let us say some functions of clutch. As I have told you, a clutch system has the function of connecting and disconnecting a rotating shaft. It has also the function of transmitting engine torque to the gearbox. It also dampens torsional vibration, as I've said. It has many functions. So, for well understanding, this clutch component system, it has also many devices, as you have seen here. Here I have many components composing the clutch system. Means that a system, it is a set of devices connected together in order to achieve on the same goal. So, first of all, a clutch system, it will be composed by a flywheel. This is a flywheel. So, do you remember that in level 3? You are still studying in level 3. First of all, we have how to understand the devices. So, to understand, first of all, the components composing the system, and then after, you will be able to remove means that dismount and mount those devices. And even if disassemble and assembling the devices, even if on the engine or in the vehicle in general. So, first of all, let us try to understand or to observe how the clutch component are look like. If say the clutch component, so I've told you that it is a set of those devices connected together in order to achieve on the same goal. A clutch system is composed by many devices. There are some driving parts which composed by flywheel. This is a flywheel. This is a flywheel. This one. It is also composed by a clutch disc. This is a clutch disc. I will tell you the component of the clutch disc. We have also the pressure plate. We have the thrust bearing. And there is other devices that we will see by using a vehicle because they are connected together. Those are what we call a clutch mechanism. So let us start from a clutch disc. So this device to work in the clutch system because it is one which will help us to transmit the engine torque through the flywheel, and then to the gearbox. So this disc must have some properties for well achieving its goal because of high friction, it must resist to temperature or to the wear, even if it must resist to damage. So it has some devices. You have the hub here. This is the hub. Have the damper spring damper or damper spring. We have the clutch lining. These are the clutch linings. We have the rivet. So this disc have two types of disc. Some of them are rigid have rigid and flexible disk. So here we have a pressure plate. This pressure plate, this is the diaphragm pressure plate, diaphragm spring, yes, because here you have the diaphragm spring tongues. This pressure plate has the function of connecting this disc to the flywheel. To the flywheel means that will keep the motion of the disc on the flywheel. So first of all, let us try to show you how we will remove a pressure plate and clutch a disc on the engine. So for removing, here we have an engine. This engine in the vehicle has the function of generating the torque, which will be needed to help the vehicle moving, yes? So here, this part, it is the part of clutch system from here to the flywheel and other devices which are located inside of those devices. So let us try to remove those devices. Let us try. First of all, you have to choose the tools which will be fitted here in order to help you removing the pressure plate. First of all, have to remove the pressure plate. The pressure plate. It is fixed by those bolts. So during removing this one, you have to untighten those bolts for removing this pressure plate. This pressure plate, try to release all of them. During removing this pressure plate, you have to mix the bolt for well removing, because if you open the bolt on the same side, it will not be able to remove the pressure plate because there will be the misalignment of the pressure plate. So the pressure plate will be removed with it's the disc. So do you see that I have a disc, and also you have a pressure plate. So then we are going to remove a flywheel. Will be removed by using 17, 14 socket and So I will remove those. How to remove those bolts? Yes, this is a flywheel. So sometime you will need to disassemble or to dismount this crash system when there is a problem of clutch slip or clutch drag. So if there is clutch slip, sometime there is a problem of clutch linings. Yes, those are the clutch linings. Sometimes they will be weird of those clutch linings. If there is a weird, means that whenever you are pushing the clutch pedal, the vehicle will not get their torques, which will help us to which will help the vehicle moving. Or here we have also these devices called main seal of the engine. Sometimes they will get a linkage of oil from the engine or from the oil pan and pass through this main seal. Means that time does the seal, it will be damaged and pass through input of the gearbox shaft and pass and go to the disc. In that time, the clutch, there will be a clutch slip. So this main seal has the function of preventing preventing the linkage of oil from the oil pan to the clutch system, because this clutch system must operate without the oil inside of those components. So I think that you are well understanding how those clutch components are being installed on the engine. So now we are going to see how also we mount those devices on the engine. First of all, we have to fix the flywheel. This smooth edge must be in front, and then have to see if the bolt will be well tightened. If you see the hole, you have to fix two of those holes in different position to help you to tighten all bolts. Yes. So if those two bolts will be able to fix other bolt which is being removed on this flywheel. And then we will mount a clutch disc with pressure plate on the flywheel. Here we have and then tighten the bolt. First of all, you have to check if this clutch disc, it is well adjusted in the center of this pressure plate in order to prevent the misalignment of gearbox while we are going to connect gearbox to the clutch system. And then it is well adjusted, and then have to tight those both of pressure plate. Yes, pressure plate, it is well tightened to the flywheel. So as you have seen, this clutch system, it is composed of those devices. We have seen there their functions. So it is composed by those flywheel, clutch disc, pressure plate, so as the other devices which will help us to transmit those engine torque from the engine. Yes, because this engine, it is one which will help us to generate the torque in order to make our vehicle moving. Means that this device, it is one of transmission devices or transmission component which will help us to transmit the engine torque to the gearbox. So here we see those devices driving component, but there is other clutch mechanism which will help us transmit the driver forces. Means that during pushing the clutch pedal in order to engage or disengage a clutch system. As I have told you, we have mechanical clutch system, which is a mechanical or hydraulic clutch system, are therefore boosting the driver forces. So let us see those devices which will help us to boost the driver forces during transmitting the clutch component to the clutch during the engaging or disengaging a clutch system. So, as I have told you about clutch, I've told you that you have some driving devices which will help you to transmit the engine torque to the variable speed gearbox. But for transmitting those torque, there is an intervention of drive in the clutch mechanism. In the clutch mechanism, you have a mechanical clutch mechanism and hydraulic clutch mechanism. The function of clutch mechanism, it is to boost or to help the driver forces or to make the driver using small forces during pushing the clutch pedal. So clutch mechanism, it is composed by clutch pedal, clutch cables or clutch pipes. We have also the master cylinder. We have also, this is master cylinder. In master cylinder, there is clutch fluid. This is clutch fluid. Means this clutch fluid helps boost the driver forces for transmitting the pressure. So you have the clutch lines. It is where the hydraulic fluid or clutch fluid will pass through in order to achieve to the sleeve cylinder. Here we have sleeve cylinder, means that this sleeve cylinder take the forces come from the master cylinder and push this clutch fork. This is the clutch fork. This one clutch fork have a sleeve cylinder, means that when the driver pushing the clutch pedal, we see the motion of this piston coming from. Do you see this motion? This motion, it is caused by the clutch fluid which is stored inside of master cylinder. So when the driver pushing does clutch pedal, it will not use much force for transmitting or for engaging or disengaging the clutch system. So I have told you that the clutch, it is installed in the vehicle for helping the transmission, of engine torque to the gearbox. So the gearbox also have told you that in drivetrain, it is there for converting or help the gear shifting or gear changing. So those devices from flywheel, clutch disc, pressure plate, clutch pedal, master cylinder, clutch cables or pipes up to the slip cylinder, clutch fork, and thrust bearing. It is a set of those devices which will help us to transmit the engine torque from the engine, yes, because the engine is there for generating those torques, to the other devices which we need to help the vehicle moving. thank you for your kind attention. If you have a question, you will contact me on my number, which are 0788931137. So at the end of the next session, we will see where those talks transmitted by the engine will pass through, meaning that we will see how the gearbox work by seeing its function in the vehicle, definitions, the types, and so on. So thank you for your kind attention.
Mubyeyi urifuza guteganyiriza umwana wawe ejo heza, gana mu mashuri ya apejerwa ariyo Lycée de Ruhango-IKIREZI hamwe na Emeru Intwari. Muri Lycée de Ruhango-IKIREZI tubafitiye amashami akurikira: Culinary Art cyangwa se ibijyanye n'ubutetsi, hari level 1, level 3, level 4 ndetse na level 5. Food and Beverage Services tubafitiye level 3, level 4 ndetse na level 5. Tubafitiye kandi accounting cyangwa se ibaruramari level 3, level 4 ndetse na level 5. Tubafitiye n'ubukanishi bw'amamodoka mu byiciro bikurikira: Auto Engine Technology level 3, Auto Transmission and Control System Technology level 4, Automobile Transmission and Control System Technology level 5. Tubafitiye n'ubwubatsi Masonry level ya 3, level ya 4 ndetse na level ya 5. Tubafitiye Tourism ubukerarugendo level ya 3, iya 4 ndetse n'iya 5. Turabibutsa ko tubafitiye n'icyiciro rusange Tonkome. Naho muri Emeru Intwari tubafitiye amashami y'umwaka umwe akurikira: Automotive Technology ubukanishi bw'amamodoka level ya mbere, Hairdressing ubwiza no gutunganya umusatsi level ya mbere, Tailoring ubudozi level ya mbere, Masonry ubwubatsi level ya mbere. Muri aya mashuri yombi tubafitiye abarimu b'inzobere harimo n'abaturuka hanze y'igihugu. Tubafitiye kandi n'amacumbi y'abakobwa ndetse n'ay'abahungu. Abanyeshuri bacu bakora ingendo shuri mu gihugu ndetse no hanze yacu. Tubaha umwanya wo kwimenyereza umwuga mu bigo bijyanye n'ibyo biga. Dukorera kandi graduation abanyeshuri basoje amasomo yabo. Aya mashuri aherereye mu mujyi wa Ruhango hafi ya gare. Ku bindi bisobanuro mwaduhamagara kuri 0788636219 cyangwa se 0722356668. Mwanaduhamagara kandi kuri 0788836213 cyangwa se 0788202285. Mwanadusura kuri website y'ishuri www.apejerwa.ac.rw. Umurimo ukozwe neza utuma batugirira icyizere.